Hey guys, hello, how's it going? My name is Vincent and I'm currently trying to break the record of most films seen in a cinema in 1 year. So today marks day 84 and I'm currently at 177 films seen today in theaters. Now, this week has been pretty diverse. I saw several good films, several movies that weren't so good, and one notable failure of a film was a French film that I'm not going to mention, but the thing about this film was that this is a type of film where you wonder seriously if a director just sat down in the director's chair and went like, this movie's going to suck. And I want it that way. I want it to suck, bruh. No director thinks that way. I hope so at least. But it felt that way because the dialogues were stiff, the actors were just not interesting, and just, the delivery of the lines was like, here's a line, here you go, just deal with it, whatever. Anyway, a disappointment, especially since it was a 1 hour and 10-minute film, and it was just 1 hour and 10-minute torture of film watching. At least in the other film, Cross Current, the Chinese film, it was beautiful cinematography. In this instance, there was nothing redeemable about this French film. Anyway, I saw two other great films that were but with Cary Grant, because there's a Cary Grant cycle at the Christine 21 cinema. And so I saw Crisis, which was really interesting because it's a doctor facing the choice of either saving a dictator or letting him die of his tumor. And so he has this moral dilemma. And the other film was Walk, Don't Run. Seriously, go check this film out. This film is hilarious. It's a great comedy that I was very surprised by. I didn't know what it was. And then when it was a comedy somehow, when the way it delivered and the humor in it was just... it was a great time, so check it out if you have a chance. Otherwise, this week there were two English-speaking films that came out that I want to mention here. Churchill, the first one by Jonathan Teplitzky, sorry if I'm butchering the name, which, as the title suggests, was a biopic of Winston Churchill, who was the Prime Minister during the Second World War, among other things. And it's not a biopic taking his life, retelling his whole life. No, it only takes 4 days preceding D-Day, the operation during the Second World War, which was in order to liberate France from the Nazis. And so it was an all-in attack on the Normandy beach. And very interesting because the fact is that he was against this operation. He was the only one against it. So you had to follow this prime minister who was just dealing with the fact that he wanted to stop this operation because for him it was too risky and would be way too costly in regards to human lives that were going to be lost during this operation, as actually happened. And so he's facing, his commanders of military who were for this operation, and he faces off with Dwight Eisenhower on several occasions, who was, the colonel of the American army in charge of this operation and of the Allied forces. And so very strong characters facing off with each other. So that was really interesting, especially since Winston Churchill was a formidable character himself. And especially also with the fact that it's a true story and with the implications of D-Day. Very interesting film to watch. Check it out if you have a chance, if it plays in a cinema near you. Great film in my opinion. Otherwise, I saw a horror movie. The thing about horror movies is that I like watching horror movies because I like the mythology of them, the supernatural elements, the ghost stories that go with them. I enjoy them very much, but I hate watching horror movies because I hate being scared. So I watched this film like this. Fuck, everything's breaking down here. Like this, I watched. Just an eye through the fingers, hoping that I won't die of a heart attack. And I didn't, because I didn't get scared, because all the jump scares just... I still was afraid because it was scary. The film I'm talking about is The Autopsy of Jane Doe. Sorry for not mentioning it. It's a film you should definitely check out if you like horror movies, if you like getting scared and jump scares and all that, because that's what this movie delivered on this front. And the mythology behind it, the scariness was interesting, and the Jane Doe character was just... it was well shot, very interesting. Great experience, although I was scared to shit, and I don't like that. But I like the film, but I don't like being scared. So, mixed feeling about this, but I highly recommend it if you're a horror movie going type of person. Anyway, this was it for today. This week has been very diverse. Good films, bad films. Watch Churchill. If you get a chance, watch the Jane Doe Identity. Yeah, because this is a French title. Yeah, they translated it, The Autopsy of Jane Doe, to The Identity of Jane Doe. Or The Jane Doe Identity. Anyway, Yeah, great. The software froze down. Anyway, so without being able to see me, I'm going to say thanks for watching. See you next time. Salut.